Donald has been dealing with that rib injury. He told us on Wednesday that he has no pain and he feels healthy. He also added, "The way that I'm feeling right now, I'm not too worried about it. I feel good, I feel strong, and I'll be ready to go come Saturday." As for the Rams defense facing Rodgers and the best red zone offense in football, so efficient this year, Donald said they must find ways to affect the quarterback. That's QB hits, getting in his face, chasing him around, and ultimately not allowing him to get comfortable. So between affecting Rodgers and shutting down what the Rams considered to be a very strong run game, starting with Aaron Jones, Donald told me we'll be fine. Kickoff 4:35 Eastern on Saturday from Lambeau. Kay?
Stacey, we cannot wait. It's time to talk Who's Better, presented by Truist. We've talked before about the Rams' ability to give star wide receivers all they can handle all year long. Let's take a look at the numbers here first, guys, to set the table. This is a composite of what every Pro Bowl receiver the Rams have faced this season have done. They haven't given up more than 81 yards to any of them throughout the course of 12 meetings, and this is a group that includes a guy who is pretty much as close to the juggernaut spot as we can get, KB, named Stephon Diggs. DeAndre Hopkins on this list, DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, and company. Triggs, Ramsey and the Rams defense against Davante Adams. That is the matchup of the weekend. We've talked about it at length here on the show. Give us some insight into how this shutdown might look.
Okay, so
Let's go.
The Rams defense has held everybody, right, in check. I texted another head coach, not McVay or LaFleur. I said, how do you think Adams versus Ramsey goes? And the head coach texted me and said, Adams is a different type of beast than Metcalf or Hopkins. He is much better.
Wow. Belichick's got takes.
Belichick's got takes. It wasn't Belichick. Let's go to the video and see what the Rams have done, though, against some of these guys and how they do it. It's so amazing. So here's Jalen Ramsey on the outside, okay? And he's one-on-one with DK Metcalf. This is last weekend. Watch how the safety rotates to the middle of the field, turning his back to DK Metcalf. And Russell thinks he's got the one-on-one, but you know what? It's okay. One-on-one, Jalen Ramsey is going to knock it out. Outside, it's almost impossible to get Jalen Ramsey on a one-on-one because he always has this. Look at the arm length here. Douche, I'm going to get it. Finds a way. All right, so that's DK Metcalf on the outside. Maybe he held him, maybe he didn't. That's the craft of being a good corner. All right, so he's tough on the outside. What if we move our star receiver to the inside? Can Jalen Ramsey do that? This is Mike Evans. Jalen Ramsey covering him. He kind of waits, breaks on him. Brady's like, I have nowhere to throw it. Basically throws it in the dirt. Ramsey almost lulls him into this.
He knew what was coming.
And by the time he gets there, Brady knows, I'm not throwing that.
He wanted to pick it.
He's going to take it to the house. I can't do that. Ramsey on the outside, Ramsey on the inside. How about Ramsey with deception, okay? This is him covering Michael Gallup, who's not the number one. Amari Cooper's the number one. So I said, okay, let's get it to our number one. Look at Ramsey's awareness. He leaves Michael Gallup and says, I'm going to just leave him. I see the passes out, and I'm going to break up the play mid-play. It is a fantastic bit of awareness from Jalen Ramsey that he's covering another wide receiver, and yet in real time sees the passes coming from Dak and breaks off of his guy and then breaks up the play so that Amari cannot have the completion. Watch it again. Watch Jalen. It's not going to him. It's going to him. I'm going to break it up.
Great play.
All right, so it's all about Jalen Ramsey, right? Jalen Ramsey is so incredible. He's going to stop Davante Adams.
Way to play.
Way to play is right. He didn't hit him in the head. Not so fast. Darius Williams on the other side is almost as good. I'm telling you. Darius Williams is fantastic. This here is Darius Williams, and he is now covering Antonio Brown. Watch Darius Williams on Antonio Brown here, like a blanket. Brady throws it out there, and Darius Williams leaves his feet and punches it. This is just straight up one-on-one. Who is 31 and why is he so good? It's very hard to throw on the Rams when they've got Jalen Ramsey on one side and that guy on the other. And then you go to this past weekend. DK Metcalf is having a fit. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. I want the ball. Throw me the ball. Brian Schottenheimer's like, we got to get DK the ball. Let's give him a little gimme in the screen game. Watch what Darius Williams does. Jalen's on locket. He knows it's going to DK. Everyone knows it's going to DK. I'm not going to say Brian Schottenheimer was scared of dealing with DK or Russell Wilson didn't want to deal with DK, but the easiest way to get an unhappy receiver the ball is just throw him one of those screens and say, okay, you got your pass. Darius Williams read it the whole entire way. Why? Because they've run this before. He breaks past Swaim and intercepts it and takes it to the house. It's the biggest play of the game.
He jumped it so much, he almost ran past the ball.
And then watch McVay, Kyle, because he knew it's coming too. Slaps Michael Brackers on the butt and says, let's go.
Let's do it.
This Rams defensive backfield, I'm not saying they can stop Davante Adams. He's really good. He's so crafty. But these guys are so deep, they're so talented, and Brandon Staley, the defensive coordinator, who will be interviewing for multiple jobs over the next course of the few days, if the Rams are eliminated or even if they exist and go on one round further, they're so well coached. Don't just watch Jalen Ramsey, number 20. Watch number 31, Darius Williams. He might be just as good, and he is nasty when he gets those interceptions. He takes them to the house.
But that's just it. It's being well coached. It's not just the athletic ability of your playmakers. The genius behind Sean McVay or even Brandon Staley is looking at a guy like Jalen Ramsey and saying, you're a freak athlete, man. You're fast.